Welcome to Interested and Interesting Person Project.
Let's talk about
Dystopian societies. Squalor. Oppression. Disease, overcrowding, environmental destruction. War.
misery. These are all features of dystopian society, fictional societies. Today, I'm going to take you with me on a little adventure into San Francisco, where we look for some other distinguishing features of dystopian societies that are not hypothetical or fictional. There's a lot of dystopian features in our own current society. I thought it would be fun for us to go take a peek at them together. I'll be keeping an eye out for propaganda, censorship, surveillance, forced conformity, governmental control, technological control. There are a lot of features of dystopia. Part of studying fiction or science fiction specific is about getting a sense of where you are situated. So I think the study of dystopia in fiction is taking the microscope to our own world. So let's go do that. I have good news, San Francisco lovers. It's not looking terribly like a dystopia yet. Looks like a nice place to be. But of course, a dystopia is not represented by a single city, although a single city can reflect dystopian elements. Like, for instance, oh, look at that Prime truck. That Prime truck, you know, it represents a corporation that right now, and I don't have the data in front of me, but it's responsible for some tremendous amount of the commerce of our entire country. And when we rely on a single company to distribute, are they distributing the majority of the goods right now? I don't know. That's something to keep an eye on, surely. Dystopia. I am behind it. Here we are. Surveillance. Look at that. This is, I don't know what this is really. This is it says may stop quickly peacock, but it's covered with all kinds of cameras. Is it keeping us safe a lot of the time? Absolutely. I mean,
If you heard me scream, that's because there was a police officer behind me. I shouldn't have been videotaping while I was driving. Didn't get a ticket, so it's not a dystopia.
I don't know what you do when you go visit a town to discover whether or not it's a dystopia. But the first thing I look for are bookstores. I parked completely randomly, just the first spot that I could find. I'm in the avenues, and I was less than 100 yards from a bookstore. Things are looking okay. Two amazing YA books. I'll be honest, I'm surprised to see so many books that I've read here. And by the way, so don't like those Jack Reacher novels, but I do love the Michael Crichton, and that's not literature, I'll tell you that, but those are hard to put down. Now, Frank Herbert's Dune series, start with Dune, start slow, and go. And then right below this here, we've got, it's amazing, that George R.R. Martin Game of Thrones series is absolutely remarkable in the fantasy genre, of course. And then we are, during our class, going to look at some Ursula K. Le Guin, but it's a good bookstore, not dystopia. I read some Jack Reacher. I finished a whole book. It was one of the most painful and sad experiences of my life. It doesn't make this a dystopia. It just means they employed somebody who doesn't have good taste in fiction. Surely one of the distinguishing features of dystopias is the limiting of thought. And I find myself in a bookstore because I love them and because they do represent intellectual freedom. But what represents intellectual freedom the most is a vibrant zine scene. And this bookstore features a lot of diverse perspectives here on fantastic topics, and I'm glad that I started thinking about dystopia and then I came to this bookstore. I'll find another one. I have found another bookstore in San Francisco known for its forward-thinkingness and open-mindedness. More evidence that despite the news, San Francisco may not be a dystopia. I'm in City Lights Books in San Francisco, and One of the other reasons that books are so important is that they create community. And they have a little sign here that says, "What brought you here today? What do you seek? What do you find?" It's about community. 1984 is a book about a society where people live with huge flat screen televisions that are constantly taking video of them and manipulating them. Sound familiar? Another extremely important dystopian piece of fiction is Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Brave New World's about a society filled with video game addicted, pill popping sex havers. Sound familiar? I lied about the video game addicted. Aldous Huxley didn't anticipate that, but the pill popping and the super lots of sex, he knew. I'm gonna wrap this up and just let you know I had a good time in the city today, and it did all the things that it's always done. But I chose to go there looking for dystopia because there are thousands and thousands of homeless people in San Francisco. There is incredible inequality. There is a great deal of injustice. There is police violence. Hardworking people can't buy a house. And there's a lot of sadness and misery there too. Now, I had a great time, but I know how to have a time in San Francisco. Still, it was a bit of a dystopia. We got to talk about 1984. Brave New World, and look at some bookstores as you read through the dystopias that are coming your way. Keep thinking about our world. The Interested, an Interesting Person project is brought to you by Chris Risley. That's me.